Hello, fellow translators. So today I wanted to do a video about, actually I wanted to do a video outside because I feel like I haven't done any of those in a while. But it's really cold, even though it's sort of sunny today. But hopefully soon I can do that. But for now, you're getting a video inside. Also because I wanted to talk about books today. And so today we're doing something that's a bit different, and I want to talk about how Actually, I'm going to talk about giving up on books. You should give up on books. You should give up reading. That's what I'm going to put as a title. That's a good one. Kind of clickbaity, but whatever. And because that's been a big thing for me this year, I've been told myself I want to quit reading and quit books. And so now I'm going to talk to you and tell you why. Okay, first of all, I'm not going to quit reading books, but quit individual books, if that makes sense. Probably not. Let me go through it. So, first of all, where do I start? Getting into reading reading today is actually kind of hard. I mean, for me and with everyone, I assume, we kind of want the TLDR version of everything. And we're used to very quick, the Twitter feed, the 140, 280 character. We're kind of just skimming through and seeing the main points, and then that's it, or watching videos. And so we kind of go through things very quickly. And TLDR, by the way, means too long didn't read. And you see that a lot. Too long didn't read, then you can just get a summary or something like that. Anyway, and yeah, I'm the same, and I scour things and try to get the main points, the main highlights, and this, that, and the other. On the other hand, when it comes to books, we're taught in school and stuff like that we should finish books, finish what you started, and that you should treat them well, reverently, and so what happens is we say, oh, I should read this book, and you start reading it, and then you get stuck, and because it's a long book, and parts of it are really boring, and you can't get past it, so you're kind of stuck on a book, and I think it's happened to all of us. Probably everyone watching this is right now reading a book that they're stuck on, that they have some book that hasn't been finished, and they've probably been on it for a while and just haven't been able to finish it because it's, they got to a boring part or whatever it might be, right? And so then what happens? We kind of get stuck and we just stop reading because we're not going to start a new book because we still have to finish this one. So we just go on Twitter and we can read that more easily. But on the other hand, I feel like we don't really learn much that way, because then if we're just scouring the news and headlines and stuff like that, you can't really learn much in depth. And so what do you do about it? Well, for me, I was kind of forcing myself to read. And what would happen, though, is very often I would end up with books, big books, and I kind of realized once I got like this far through or something like that, like this is not going to be a good book. But then I have all this, and you have this thing, at least I have this thing, that I need to finish books. And so lately what I'm trying to do, there's just too many good books out there. There are too many good books with too much good substance in them for me to keep doing that and wasting my time reading crappy books. So I've been trying to work on quitting reading and quitting books. I have a general rule, which I didn't invent. I saw it there somewhere. There's an article or something about this that said to read up into page 50. And I like that because 50, I feel like you give a good chance to the book. It's not like you give up after 3 pages, be like, oh, this is crap. And you see sometimes you see reviews on Amazon be like, oh, I've read the first 3 pages. It was crap. I hate this book. 1 star. You're like, are you really going to you made us read through your comment and you couldn't even read through more than 3 pages of the book? Anyway, so at least 50 pages. So I give it a chance. And then I see if I want to keep going, if this is a book that I'm going to get something out of, or if it's something that I'd rather dig into one of my other books that I'm going to get something out of. And and a big thing that I've had to contend with is what we call in econ. I studied econ in school. Is sunk costs. You've probably heard of sunk costs, but if you haven't, sunk costs are the costs you've already paid that have already gone out in the past. And a lot of times you're like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I already spent so much money on it, I might as well keep going. And that's actually the wrong way to look at it. If you've spent money or something, that's already spent. You can't do anything about that. But you need to look from here going forward, what's the best thing to do? And I'll get that a lot with sunk costs. I'll be like, look, I spent so much time reading this much of the book, I might as well keep going. And that's the wrong way to look at it as well. You should look from this point forward, what's the best thing I should do? Read this book or go on with something else. By the way, I love this book. I don't know why I keep saying that, using it as a bad example. But anyway, So anyway, what I try to do is I give it the 50 pages and then I decide yes or no. I'm 50, around 50 pages, and then I decide, am I going to stick with it or not? And what should I do? I've already quit 2 books this year, so I'm kind of proud of myself for that. And in fact, even when I quit them, I kind of just put a bookmark in them and I'm like, not feeling it. I don't know. And 6 months, a year from now, I might want to get back into them or something like that. But for now, forget it. There are a couple books that I know I won't get back into. But yeah, and so I'm trying to do more of that just so then I read quite a bit. I should say that. Last year I read 150 something books, and I keep track of them all on Goodreads, and so I do read a lot. But I realize that sometimes I'm just reading to read and to finish the book. But there's so much good stuff out there that I'd like to read, and so I want to read more. Yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of quitting books. And so yeah, to explain, that's why I'm saying I think you should quit books. I think that's something all of us should learn to do. If you're reading a book and you've gone through a part of it and it's not going to help you out, don't be stuck on that book for the next 6 months, because that'll stop you from reading other books or doing other stuff in general. And if you've given it a good shot, a good chance, and you realize it's just not working, or it's not working for you right now, then drop it. Don't feel bad about dropping it, and go find another book to read, and that'll be that'll be better. It'll be a lot better, because if you read another book that's actually good, then you've used your time a lot more wisely than wasting your time on a book that didn't give you much. Again, this book I love too. For some reason I grab books. These are both books I really like a lot. So I'm just saying as a hypothetical book that you don't like. If you're reading a book you don't like, you should quit it. That's it. That's basically the message of this video. But it's something I found really hard, and so that's why I kind of had to make it one of my New Year's resolutions, that I will quit books more often. And I just wanted to share this with you and say that I think it's something everyone should follow. And I talk about books every now and then. I try to talk about them, especially when they have to do with language. I did do a video on this book. In fact, I love this book. I did not do a video on this book because it's all in Italian. It's about the history of the Italian language. I wrote a review on it on Goodreads in Italian, but it didn't make much sense to do one in English, because it's the history of the Italian language. It talks about the intricacies of how Latin developed into Italian, how it spread into the different dialects, and then how and why it became one standard language again, and stuff like that. Anyway, this is a very good book, by the way, if you are Italian or you're interested in it. I don't think it's been translated to English. Anyway, but if you have another book that's not good, quit it and read something that is good. Chances are there's a lot out there that you'd like to read, and that's good. And if you find yourself that you're stuck on some book that you haven't been able to finish because it's like or getting slow or whatever, just quit it and read another book. And I'm trying to do more of that. I'm trying to quit books more. So I just want to share that and talk to you about it, and just do a little something different, a bit more relaxing, and talk about reading, just to change it up a bit. So that's all I'm going to say for today. And don't forget to click thumbs up if you like this video. And otherwise, I will be back to talking about translation and freelancing and stuff like that. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Also, next to the subscription, you can click on the bell, and then you'll get a notification every time there's a new video, so you don't have to check to see if there's a new video or not. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye. Savedum.